realize, oh, this is where we have been going, and this is how it has been happening, and then we find ways how to amend maybe our ways or make decisions, alterations to have the right path. Again, at the end of the day, is always the common good, how the people has to benefit from such decisions.
Yes, and it's so appropriate at this time as we are celebrating, and this month is the 49th independence anniversary of Papua New Guinea. So a message, whatever message the Holy Father gives, will be very interesting at this time. And here comes the Pope Mobile and the motorcade coming to Apec Haus at Ella Beach. Protocol people will swing into operation. And our Motu Koitabon dancers, and there seats the members of the clergy. Some of them, you want to call their names?
Well, most of them,
yes, yeah.
Most of them are from our local dioceses in Papua New Guinea. I understand the visitors will be the cardinal from Tonga, and he's amongst the clergy there, as well as the couple of bishops from abroad, like Australia and New Zealand, and the Archbishop of Suva in Fiji. They feel that they have to be present because of the papal and apostolic visit here is also Oceania, and so they have a presence. And you can see the Governor General himself already arrived earlier in preparation for the Holy Father to come in.
And he will have to receive the Holy Father at Apec Haus there, and Dari Toka Jr., the head of the Motu Koitabuns here in the national capital, is with him. I think it is also important to note here that this is happening at one of Papua New Guinea's important fixtures, where when we held the APEC in the country some time back, a couple of years back, and the meetings taking place there, it's important. And I think it is also important to note here that what we are showing is now going almost all over the world. It's going on Sky News. It's being shown at the Vatican television, in Italy as well as in Reuters, Salon Television in Canada, EWTN, and definitely there are visions of that going into Argentina, the home country of the Holy Father, Pope Francis. He should be arriving there shortly, and will be received by the Governor General for and on behalf of the people of Papua New Guinea and of all the other leaders who come from other neighboring countries as well, who are seated there.
John, I think it's also important to note all our hardworking people behind the scenes to getting these images to our viewers throughout the world. And I think it's also given us to prove that we are able to do it professionally. The quality is here. And so I just would like to take that note to acknowledge all our people who are working behind the scenes to enable the technicians, the producers, and everybody, and also our media. The cooperation, the collaboration for this event is just unimaginable. Everybody has come together. They have had a long meetings to ensure these things work out very well, because we are putting Papua New Guinea on the international scene.
Totally agree. The mini Pope Mobile, if you like, it's mini, it might look small, but what that small Pope Mobile is bringing in and bringing out into our country and at the Apec Haus is something big. It is the world leader, a spiritual world leader, as well as a country leader.
It's interesting that in Pidgin we always have a practical joke saying that lik walk na big plakaikai. Now here we are seeing a lik car for a big man.
Now, this la tokto ke fitim, this la kain talk bogus stars will talk picture me plus I give him. Big pla true. And nice pla thinking you got that you've been talk long and this like kind of picture me plus show him now. Me like talk him you me online lo Papua New Guinea also this la got a picture you me show him now. And two, you pla look him now, you go along all narpla country too. Country or television or one him kind walk all is working this la or picture you go along also 6-7 black country. Picture two you go along place country straight where Holy Father come long and long Argentina. This la picture me plus for him now. Me plus you look long and all look him long up too. All look him long Canada long solemn television. EWTN long Italy too all look him. Only look him long Vatican television. Long Rome yet all look him. Sky News is saw him all this picture too. So this la legally something me plus thing also long country me plus no got and big all look him. Look him also this la Mary give him one plus symbol me plus lakatoy it go long hand long Holy Father. Name kisi one plus legally president return now also Archbishop you to talk I think I'm rosary or one plus legally something he come lo Vatican. So tete lo this pala I look also only larim mipla online was that the brim this la picture na tok tok come lo yuvla call camera blo mipla stop are long na kisim picture na I think him la look long all Danish online all Danish na mi tok ay legally picture blong culture blo mipla way blo mipla how mipla Danish na how mipla talk welcome long kind or big pla line come long country blo mipla.
John, what we are really seeing, and I really hope and pray that this will be really our way forward to have that mutual collaboration and respect between the state as well as with the government, the state, and the churches, and our leaders. I think at all levels, the collaboration, the mutual respect to coexist and to support and complement one another. This whole experience is bringing this out, and the richness of the culture and the recognition of the talents and skills that people have for the benefit of everyone. And so these are some of the things, or maybe the outcome of what we are observing and witnessing that stands out clearly as a result and the fruit of this kind of collaboration and experience.
Yes, I think Archbishop, I think legally something we can talk out also. I think time Holy Father come inside, online is sanab na Holy Dennis na talk welcome. That's all. I mean, no, he didn't go past them to the next. He just said, I want to see them dance a little bit. So they paused there for a while and turned his wheelchair around for him to stay, and then the girls performed there for him. It could have been scripted, planned, or it could have been just something that happened right there and then.
And John, what brings it out from that point of view too is the noticing the little details.
Absolutely.
You don't ignore.
And he's taking the lift, he's gone upstairs at the Apec Haus, where this will be the main meeting I'd like to think. Next to him is, of course, the Governor General of Papua New Guinea, the Grand Chief, Sabob Dade. I noticed that his wheelchair, and there's always someone standing right next to it, is being handled by Vatican staff themselves.
Most of the carers around him are his own, that came with him from the Vatican. The entourage was composed of the media, the journalists, and his own caretakers.
Yes, and they know exactly what to do, so they wouldn't allow anybody else to touch him wrong something and them put down. And there was a little bit of that at the airport, and I think there was a little bit of a scare there that he might trip. But
it's always important. You know people who are close to you, and they know your ways of behaving. So these are the people you have to always have them around you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is our live telecast. We continue that of the visit by the Holy Father to Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. We are now at Apec Haus at Ella Beach in Port Moresby, the capital city of the country, where the Holy Father is no doubt, and we are anticipating that, will say something to a gathering of leaders, political leaders of Papua New Guinea, as well as business leaders and other people gathered to hear from the Holy Father. And I think to begin that, I think there'll be a speech by the Governor General, the Grand Chief Shabob Dade, who will no doubt welcome the Holy Father into the country for and on behalf of the people of Papua New Guinea. He will give his speech, and no doubt his speech is being delivered to him. That will be followed by a response and a statement from the Holy Father.
For our viewers out there, there is an earpiece that the Holy Father is having on. That's for the benefit of translation, because he basically strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and people of Papua New Guinea, I welcome His Holiness Pope Francis to this beautiful country. Your presence here is a testament to the enduring spirit of faith that brings us together across oceans and continents, and I am honored to receive you today. As you know, the first Catholic missionaries were the Marists. They arrived in 1845 and settled in the beautiful woodland and rocky islands. Some 139 years later, having fully established the seat of the Catholic faith, your predecessor, the Holy Father, Pope John Paul II, visited our country in 1984 and again in 1995. This year is the 179th year of the presence of the Catholic Church in Papua New Guinea, and you are here with us. As a country, we are very grateful. Your Holiness, the Catholic Church is among the key development partners of the government in services delivery in the country. Our government recognizes the strong contributions of the Church in supporting children communities, future church leaders across education, health, and spiritual care. We appreciate the global leadership in advocacy that the Vatican continues to provide on the global humanitarian issues like war, human rights, gender issues, climate change, health, and education. Your Holiness, life is a right to human beings. As
Can we hear something?
The Holy Father will respond to his message, and we need to know what it is.
we want to acknowledge the role of women emphasized on the need for protection. A female is not just a mere gender, but a special gift from God to bear a nation. And like Mother Nature, she keeps and sustains humanity. Your Holiness. In a world of greed and turmoil, your voice will be better heard by the world over to love and respect the rights of women in a free world. We are happy to convey that the Catholic Church has been very active in advocating against violence and human as Christians and recommit to love and peaceful existence in our society. Your Holiness, climate change is real. The rise in the sea level is affecting the lives of our people in the remote islands of Papua New Guinea and across the Pacific. We appreciate the work of the Catholic missionaries and those from the Christian faith who continue to serve those that are affected by climate change. The experience across the Pacific is that islands are sinking. People are affected and displaced. We seek your prayers and support for global action and advocacy on climate change. We want the world to know that there is no more time to discuss. What the world needs is commitment for action. Your Holiness, we also want to thank you for the work of the Church to take the health and education services to the remotest places in Papua New Guinea. Our inspiration is the educated life service of missionaries of Catholic Church across the length and breadth of this beautiful country. This is truly an embodiment of enduring love and compassion of God for humanity. Our government is intensifying efforts to strengthen the existing partnership through funding support, institutional alignment, and other state-church collaboration arrangements. As a government, we continue to fund churches-run institutions. We truly value this partnership and affirm support to the work of the Catholic Church and other Christian churches in the country. As you bless our land with your presence, we are filled with profound gratitude and humility, as can be seen through the magnitude of pilgrimage to the city, just to get a glimpse of your holiness. We know that your visit will leave an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of our citizens. We pray that the seeds of faith, hope, and love that you sow, they will bear fruit for generations to come. Please pray for Papua New Guinea, its democracy, its leadership, and pray for people to turn to God at a time when there is rise of atheism in the world. May you also pray for our fellow brothers and sisters in the Pacific. Some of their leaders are present here today with us. We thank you for choosing to visit Papua New Guinea and wish you the blessings of peace and comfort and hope that you will enjoy the warm, gracious hospitality of your church, the government, and people of Papua New Guinea. God bless you, and God bless Papua New Guinea. Thank you very much.
It is now my honor to invite His Holiness, Pope Francis, to give his address to the country.
Generale, signor Primo Ministro, distinti rappresentanti della società civile, signori ambasciatori, signore e signori, sono lieto di essere oggi
I'm very pleased to be with you today and to visit Papua New Guinea.
Ringrazio il Governatore
I thank the Governor General for his cordial
bienvenuto
words of welcome
e ringrazio
and all
tutti
of
voi
you
per la
for your
calorosa
warm reception.
accoglienza. Rivolgo il
I
mio
extend
saluto
my
all'intero
greetings to
popolo
the
del
people of the
Paese,
country,
augurandole
wishing them
pace e
peace and
prosperità.
prosperity.
E fin d'ora
And
esprimo
I
la
also
mia
express my gratitude
alle
to the authorities
per
for
l'aiuto che
helping
offrono
the
a molte
Church
attività della Chiesa
in a spirit of mutual cooperation
collaborazione per il
and
bene
for the
comune.
benefit
Nella
of the
vostra
common
patria,
good.
un
In your
arcipelago con
homeland,
centinaia di
an archipelago
isole,
with
si
hundreds of
parlano
islands,
più
more than
di 800 lingue,
800 languages are spoken,
in corrispondenza ad
corresponding to
altrettanti
just as
gruppi
many
etnici.
ethnic groups.
Questo evidenzia
This points
una
to an extraordinary cultural
ricchezza
richness.
culturale e umana. E vi
I
confesso
must
che
confess
si tratta di un
that this
aspetto che mi
greatly fascinates
mi
me,
affascina molto,
also
anche sul
on
piano
a spiritual
spirituale,
level,
perché immagino
because I
che
imagine
questa
that this enormous
sia
variety
una
is a
sfida
challenge
per lo
to
Spirito
the Holy
Santo.
Spirit, who creates harmony amid differences. Your country, besides consisting of islands and languages, is also rich in natural resources.
Questi beni
These
sono
goods are
destinati
destined
da
by
Dio
God for the
all'intera
entire
collettività,
community,
all'intera
even if outside
collettività. E anche se per
Even
loro
if outside
giustamente
experts
è
and large
necessario coinvolgere
international
più vaste
companies
competenze
must be
e
involved
grandi
in
imprese
the harnessing of
internazionali.
these resources.
È giusto
It is only
che nella
right that the needs
distribuzione
of
dei
local
prodotti
people are
e
given
nell'impiego
due
della
consideration
manodopera si
when
tenga
distributing the
nel
proceeds
dovuto conto
and
le
employing
esigenze
workers
delle
in order
popolazioni
to improve
locali,
their living
in modo
conditions.
da produrre un effettivo miglioramento delle loro condizioni di vita. Questa ricchezza
These environmental and cultural treasures represent at the same time a great responsibility because they require everyone, civil authorities and all citizens, to promote initiatives that develop natural and human resources in a sustainable and equitable manner, a manner that provides the well-being of all, excluding nobody through concrete programs, international cooperation,
e mediante la cooperazione internazionale, nel
mutual
mutuo
respect,
rispetto
and
con
agreements
accordi
beneficial
per
to
tutti
all
i
parties.
Condizione
A necessary
necessaria
condition
per ottenere
for
tali
such lasting
risultati
result
duraturi
is the
è la
stability
stabilità
of
delle
institutions,
istituzioni, la quale
which is
favorisce
fostered
la
by
concordia
agreement on certain
profondamente essenziale
essential
tra
points
le differenti
amidst different
concezioni
concepts
e
and
sensibilità
sensibilities
presenti
present in
nella società.
society.
Accrescere
Indeed,
la
increasing
solidità
institutional stability
e
and
costruire
building
il
consensus on
consenso
fundamental
sulle scelte
choices
fondamentali
is a prerequisite for integral and fair development. It also requires a long-term vision and a climate of cooperation among all, even if there is a distinction of roles and differences of opinion. It is my particular hope that tribal violence will come to an end, for it causes many victims, prevents people from living in peace and hinders development. I appeal, therefore, to everyone's sense of responsibility to stop the spiral of violence and instead resolutely embark on the path that leads to fruitful cooperation for the benefit of all the people of the country. Indeed, the aforementioned attitudes can create the conditions in which the question of the status of Bougainville Island can also find a definitive solution while avoiding the rekindling of ancient tensions. By bolstering agreement on the fundamental elements of civil society, together with the willingness of each person to sacrifice something from his or her point of view for the benefit of all, the necessary forces can be utilized to improve infrastructure, address the health and educational needs of the population, and increase opportunities for dignified work. Sometimes we forget that human beings need more than just the basic necessities of life. They also need great hope in their hearts. This allows them to live fully, gives them zest and encourage to undertake wide-ranging projects, and enables them to lift their gaze upward towards vast horizons. An abundance of material goods is not enough to give birth to a life-giving, serene, hardworking, and joyful society, which without a broader spiritual outlook turns in on itself and leads to a dryness of heart. As a result, society loses its weight and forgets the correct hierarchy of values. Moreover, the dryness takes away society's drive to move forward, and as happens in some opulent societies, blocks its progress to the extent that it loses hope in the future and can no longer find reason to pass on life and faith to future generations. That is why it is necessary to direct the spirit towards greater realities. Our attitudes and action must be sustained by an inner strength which shelters them from the risk of being corrupted or of losing the ability to recognize the value of work and the need to carry it out with dedication and devotion. Spiritual values greatly influence the building of the earthly city and all temporal realities. In other words, these values infuse a soul and inspire and strengthen every project.
Lo ricordano anche il logo e il motto di questa mia visita in Papua Nuova Guinea. Il motto dice tutto con una sola parola: pray. Pregare. Forse qualcuno troppo osservante del politicamente corretto potrà stupirsi di questa scelta, ma in realtà si sbaglia, perché un popolo che prega ha un futuro, attingendo forza, speranza dall'alto. È anche l'emblema dell'uccello del paradiso nel logo del viaggio è simbolo di libertà, di quella libertà che niente e nessuno può soffocare perché è interiore ed è custodita da Dio che è amore e vuole che i suoi figli siano liberi. Per tutti coloro che si professano cristiani, la grande maggioranza del vostro popolo, auspico vivamente che la fede non si riduca mai all'osservanza di riti e precetti, ma che consista nell'amare Gesù Cristo e seguirlo, e che possa farsi cultura vissuta, ispirando le menti e le azioni, diventando un faro di luce che illumina la rotta. In questo modo la fede potrà aiutare anche la società nel suo insieme a crescere e a individuare buone e efficaci soluzioni alle sue grandi sfide. Illustri signore e signori, sono venuto qui per incoraggiare i fedeli cattolici a proseguire il loro cammino per confermarli nella professione della fede. Sono venuto a gioire con loro per i progressi che vanno facendo e a condividere le loro difficoltà. Sono qui, come direbbe San Paolo, quale collaboratore della vostra gioia. Mi congratulo con le comunità cristiane per le opere di carità che svolgono nel Paese e le esorto a cercare sempre la collaborazione con le istituzioni.
Television being what it is. Television being what it is. Archbishop, we lost a bit of audio there, lost a bit of pictures there. That's outside broadcast television. So we apologize for that. But there it was, a speech from the Governor General and a reply or a speech from the Holy Father at Apec Haus. And he spoke in Italian, so there was a bit of translation, and what I heard was he did mention television, again, television being what it is. We do seem to have a few problems coming out of Apec Haus at Ella Beach. There we had the Governor General speaking earlier on, and then the Holy Father speaking there. Let's just have a quick look at what the Governor General said. He spoke about climate change, and I think that is the thrust of his visit here, of the Holy Father, so it was appropriate that Papua New Guinea being part of the Pacific and climate change becoming an important issue, he did touch on that.
Yes, John, I think what the Governor General presented to the Holy Father are the issues that we are quite familiar with, the realities that we are living through. And as he mentioned, enough of talking, let us really do something, and a change of attitude, a change of policies and living styles has to really be the way to go forward.
And in the Holy Father's not so much response, but in his speech, and it was in Italian, but the quick translation we were able to get was he did touch on Bougainville, and I thought that was interesting, because as you know, Bougainvillians are very strong Catholics, and if anything, we had our first Archbishop from Bougainville, Sir Peter Koronku, and because of the situation where we are right now with Bougainville and the referendum on Bougainville, and I thought that he did, although we could not hear clearly what he was saying.
It is, and interestingly, the provincial leader of Bougainville meeting the Holy Father yesterday for the welcome, they had a bit of chat, that you may realize there was a bit of chat. And I think personally they would have, the Minister for Interior, Security and Police is saying something, whispering almost, using that opportunity, that is, that's the closest you can get to whisper to the Holy Father, this is our issues, this, and maybe asking for special blessings and prayers this time. And it just happened that, as you can ascertain from that, is that the Holy Father knows basically what are the key issues of concerns for the country politically, as much as for the economic situation that we are, but also with the climate and the environment. These are all issues that he is well aware of.
Encourage us all to remain seated whilst that's happening. Thank you.
Okay, Archbishop. All right, there it was. The gathering of leaders, political leaders, civil leaders at Apec Haus. And now the Holy Father is being escorted to a number of chosen people to have a personal greetings with a number of people. And I think the Vatican media is making sure that all this is captured for their records. And there are a number of special people there. We can't really see, but I'd like to think that Lady Veronica is amongst them. And she, of course, is the wife of the Grand Chief, Sir Michael Samare. She might have flown all the way to Port Moresby to be part of that, and I think she just met with the Holy Father. And I think it is a very special moment for her as a strong Catholic, that she gets the opportunity close up to say hello to Pope Francis. What a memorable moment that is for Lady Veronica to meet with the Holy Father. And these personal exchanges with the special chosen people at Apec Haus is, of course, the media swamping them as well. The young kids who got dressed this morning for this special occasion. The Holy Father is now being, there's rows of special people there, the front row, and then now he's going through the back row of these people where he meets them personally. I'd like to know what he's giving to them, from his staff to the girls who are performing there, that little music group.
John, that will be Holy Rosary.
Rosaries, okay.
And yes, the theme of this papal visit is don't help us to pray or teach us to pray. So now he's offering them an aid to help them to pray, and that's basically what he's encouraging people to do.
And that's really nice. That's really nice.
And in his speech, you can hear he said pray 3 times. It's almost saying that the first thing you have to do is pray. Secondly, you have to pray. Thirdly, you have to pray.
Okay, okay. And yes, in Papua New Guinea, we do need to pray.
It was also very good to see a good number of our leaders, political leaders present, and also the business community, and all our partners working together to helping promote the values and the concerns of Papua New Guineans.
It was a bipartisan meeting of leaders to hear the Holy Father speak, both from the opposition and government, ministers, and the opposition backbenchers. So that was quite encouraging of what might be ahead. And this is the last part of the morning engagement, where the Holy Father, after meeting with, after paying a courtesy call on the Governor General at Government House, he then moved to Apec Haus, where both leaders, the Governor General and the Holy Father, made speeches.
This will be the second part of another meeting with the Pacific, or maybe some of the leaders, because they were, according to what was proposed, there will be some opportunity for the others from the Pacific as well. And we just realized that he's now seated again for a kind of an audience. There is this could be the leadership from Tonga, the Kingdom of Tonga. So our Pacific leaders who cannot receive the Holy Father coming to
their own respective countries.
yeah, so they came through, so they actually accommodated them so that they can have an audience with him, encounter him, and both the Governor General and the Holy Father together.
Here's the Prime Minister of Tonga, and we also have the Prime Minister of Vanuatu, Charlotte Salwai, and his wife, and the Prime Minister or the President of Nauru, President David Adiang, and the Secretary General of the Pacific Island Forum is Baron Wakwa.
The Secretary General of the Pacific Islands Forum. Former President of Nauru.
He's so blessed.
And as we said a little earlier on, the Nauru is a small country rich in phosphate, and the land area and the number of people there are the same as that of the Vatican State. So there's something in common between those two as they shake hands and exchange. And of course, most of those from Nauru are Catholics.
He told them to exchange the gift for moments.
Yeah, interesting moment. There was moments. He was once a Catholic priest.
That's right.
The Housing Minister for the Papua New Guinea government.
The Housing Minister of Papua New Guinea.
Honourable Francisca Samaso from the Autonomous Region of Bougainville.
Somoso does something special, a special present from the people of Bougainville and from her. I don't know if protocol expected that, but that's special.
In PNG, we always say the land of the unexpected.
And yes, Somoso is the unexpected
Dame
one.
Sandra Lau and her husband.
is in good health. We want to see you many times.
That is Dame Sandra Lau with John, the managing director of Tropicana.
Kiss your ring.
A special moment in their lives.
Honorable Jelta Wong, Minister for Fisheries.
Minister Jelta Wong.
Sir Julius Chen, former Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea and Governor of New Ireland. With our Governor for the city, Honorable Paul Papal.
And we might add here that Sir Julius Chen, the last man standing in the political history of Papua New Guinea, since before independence up till now, is the only one, only living leader who's seen the start of independence to today. All the other leaders that were part of the first cabinet of Papua New Guinea in 1973 have all died. The only one standing is Sir Julius Chen.
Secretary for Education, Higher Education, and a father of the Catholic Church.
Father Yang Chuba, the former president of
Minister
the Divine
for
Word
Police
University
and Governor for the
now the
Autonomous
Secretary
Region
for
of Bougainville.
Higher Education.
Kathy
Yes,
Johnson.
the Holy Father did touch on Bougainville, and as we know, we have a Bougainville referendum, and I think Siama Lili is mindful of that, and the strong population of Catholics on the island. A private conversation, unscripted, a letter, a petition, whatever it is, it's something that they planned on doing, and they seized this moment, a moment they'll probably never have.
I wonder which language they are using to communicate that long.
Well, see, the important thing is how accommodating the Holy Father is of that.
Mr. Arthur Samari.
That's a young Samari, a strong Catholic family.
His Honor, Justice Narakobi.
Virgil Narakobi,
A son of the late Bernard Narakobi, another important figure in the political history of this country.
Holy Father helped him to stand.
The High Commissioner of Australia here in Papua New Guinea, Honourable John Six.
The Australian High Commissioner, Papua New Guinea.
It's one diplomat meeting another diplomat, head of diplomat, I suppose. But this time it is the Pope.
Dame Monica Soka. Honourable Daddy Toka Jr., Deputy Governor of the City and Chairman of Moto Koitabu. Lady Winifred Cummins.
I notice in some of the recipients, in the excitement of meeting the Holy Father, they are forgetting to say hello to their own Governor General who's sitting next to it.
I suppose they have more opportunities to meet
To
the
do that,
governor.
and she's one of them.
Of the Solomon Islands for Papua New Guinea.
Pray for me.
His Excellency, the Moderator of the United Church.
Moderatore della Chiesa Unita.
And Archbishop, you may enlighten us the person, the clergy who is sitting next to the Holy Father would be secretaries.
That will be like his
Relatives
personal aide, and
Correct.
they always get the title of Monsignor, a senior clergyman, and they are available to him, like now for translation, and also for guiding, introducing people to him. So they are handy when it comes to public audiences like this.
Okay.
And they would know at least some of the insights of what's taking place, just to be prepared and alert so that the Holy Father knows what's going on.
So he'd be in the rank of bishop, archbishop?
They normally get that particular title, which a Monsignor. And a Monsignor will be just the same as a special recognition of his aiding the Holy Father in this capacity. It could also be a bishop.
Yes.
And
yes.
they work with him, but a secretary, personal secretary, they do this kind of closeness, and especially in liaising. It's more like you can always have a personal protocol officer that comes handy in this particular situations like
Okay.
this.
And they had just received, I think, a picture of a bird of paradise from our Foreign Affairs Minister, Yatsenko.
Your Holiness, Pope Francis, and our Governor General, thank you very much. That concludes our special welcoming to our important guests, selected guests from our country. Thank you very much, Your Holiness.
And that there concludes the little session, the exchange of gifts between the Holy Father and a selected number of leaders, individuals in Papua New Guinea. One of those included Sir Julius Chan, the governor of New Ireland, the surviving member of the early cabinet of the independent state of Papua New Guinea, and there's also a member of the Samari family. And among them, Bougainvilleans. So I think the selection of people to exchange gifts were selected deliberately to represent the country on a broad scale. And the Holy Father now leaves Apec Haus at Adela Beach, accompanied by, of course, his own protocol, his own staff, and our Governor General, the Grand Chief Sir Bob Dade, and our Foreign Minister, the Honorable Justin Chichenko.
From the smile on his face, you can see that he enjoys this particular occasion, this morning, this encounter with the dignitaries, and how big. That's the Bishop of Webek.
No, I
never lose an opportunity to meet the
But
Holy
I
Father.
can't say that's part of the program. You see how he turned his own wheelchair to meet the bishop lined up along there, because otherwise he was going to be wheeled straight out to the door.
Yes.
But he said, no, let me talk hello long or line blow me.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he's doing. So close to by finish belong this morning program belong time ego na talk hello long Governor General blow you mean to now talk hello na talk one time all leader long Papal House long Ella Beach Apec Haus and finish long this now na talk goodbye long all one sambla long all bishop all come long all kata lo country na this legally up staircase yeah ne mantap long Apec Haus by kisi mem go down long ground floor lo Apec Haus. Sambla long online yeah all been stop tumblo only where been talk one time all past them now all kata walk running along elevator thing long time signally toggle them Holy Father come down them outside long Apec Haus you look him all kind man all same all white man he walk look I'm all part of the security personnel. Me plus sabe also maybe place them safe through long Holy Father long come na look around talk on them online that's all big plaman to us lo world na also na safety na security belong even though go long some all place is safe through all must still look out long when more important long walk long all long walk him this la look him also safety na round belong Holy Father and by stop good stop straight na go good na go lo finish belong
Big pala morning straight long go look him Governor General belong you mean and now long bungi mo katalide stop na harim de selalu tok to pala you make him more strong pala tok kami help him you me long focus because you must continue beyond long this weekend Papa Sant we come we go back long place belong so you me by look long all this pala all kata look sabe or talk out long and finish and one pala big pala long yan now buon will issue we come up big pala tok na all services belong you me he go long all people belong you me education health all good pala belong all kata people belong you me so now good pala long look him to pala leader belong you me belong sios na belong country wali sana one time na help him you me long so him wrote him must walk about long yan for this la integral human development he affect him you me or kata
yes legally car popmobile go inside lo car legally that's all name belong walk belong pace belong na big platro
now further to man belong travel long all public transport so long place belong long country belong long Argentina all kata man isabe isa kalap long train long bus he meet all people all at the time so ino new pala long kisim kain no likli kar long walking all walk long en now sim long all big pla visits I normal long hem long got this pla kain closeness I come long all people.
Yes. It ruin I got sample online too all go Apec Haus all line lo Port Moresby all stable all street about Bali web lem na talk hello long em one kind all sem all working long aste night long Bali kisim sans lo looking past long em time carry all drive this la legally car blaming go pass long all. Na iga one bla talk two all same time His Holiness time em young bla man long country blo em lo Argentina. Em one bla walk past em long em walk lo Burming place. Em big bla monkey. Em also mi bla talk all labor all swim street about em been one bla lo this la time em young bla long country blong em. Now he come up now big bla straight. Look him online. All like touch him em. All like go arrelo em straight. That's all sansian that's all security too by tight legally rodisla. Now almost look him also online is tap arrelong car blong em me go. That's all sample also me look him now that's all yeah. All like go touch him straight. Okay, Archbishop Rogos, big bla morning, long Holy Father, working big bla walk long, go talk hello, go meet one them Governor General you mean, and then go talk to one them all big bla line long elabit lo Apec Haus, where meet him all leader bla you mean, staff long government, staff long opposition, all public servants, senior servants. Na tu all leader blo narbla country. Na some all big man long business law Papua New Guinea. All been start businessman very long time. Contributors to the economy of the country, long time. All two been start exchange of gifts. One bla legal ceremony special through long visit blong talk long legally.
This pala bung now